Alright, so I have Optimount mounts, and I've often wondered what the way to get the best resonance out of them is. The directions that come with them say to install them so that they're compressed, so that they're touching each lug. And I've often thought that the best way to get resonance out of them was to adjust it so that the bottom lug was resting on the Optimount, but that the top Optimount was halfway in between the lug and the rim so that the tom was sort of floating on it. There's other people who think that you should adjust it so that the top rim is adjusted so that it's on the Optimount and the bottom part of the Optimount is halfway in between the lug and the rim so that the top rim is actually floating on the Optimount. And I've actually had one person tell me that he adjusts his so that it's all the way extended so that it's touching both rims. So I decided to do a little test and see which way was better. So I recorded it one tom all four ways in the exact same position, as close to the same volume as I could get it, and I'll just play them for you so you can hear what I'm working with. The first one is adjusted so that the bottom lug is resting on the bottom of the Optimount and the top of the Optimount is halfway in between the lug and the rim. It sounds like this. And that is pretty resonant. I like it. This one is resting on the top rim, and the bottom of the Optimount is halfway between the bottom lug and the bottom rim. This is the way Pearl recommends it, so that it's actually touching, compressed and touching both lugs. And this is extended so that it's touching both rims, or hoops. I think that sounds incredibly choked. So I'm going to go ahead and mute that one. I just got rid of that one right off the top. Ironically, I actually thought that resting on the top rim and the way I sounding ones and that Pearl's way kind of sounded choked. So we'll listen to that one again. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of that one as well. So that got between these two here. So what I wanted to do was just take a look and say, from a loudness perspective, how do they look? So if you zoom in on the waveform, it looks to me like resting on the top rim, the fundamental note dies a little quicker and then it decays pretty naturally. And the way I adjust them, the fundamental note seems to have a little bit more oomph before it dies down. But it's kind of really subjective. It really doesn't make a huge difference. So the other way that I looked at these was I opened up a frequency analyzer. This is my way. And this is resting on the top rim. And I ran this over and over and over again. And you can see they're actually really similar. The only real differences I noticed was that around a little below 1K, resting on the top rim had a little bit of a dip here, whereas my way it seems to go the opposite direction. So that's a little bit of a difference. And then also dip right here around 9K, and the way I do it, it's actually a little bit of a less of one, I don't know, but it's really similar profile, especially considering that it's two different hits. So you can take that for what you will. I've decided that I prefer it my way. That's this one, and that is adjusted so that the bottom lug is resting on the bottom Optimount and the top Optimounts are in between the top lug and the top rim. So there you have it. And as you can see, there's no effects on this. This is just exactly how the mic picked it up. I recorded it with a SM58 instead of a 57 because I just had it already hooked up. And the tom is a 10-inch acrylic tom with a Evans G2 batter and a Genera Resonant on the bottom. So there you have it. Make your own decision.